It's just preparing.
What? He says it's back on now, but I don't know because you can't because you just shut it.
Yeah, but it's 6 seconds behind, but it'll go, there'll be a gap and then it'll go back. It should be all right.
Okay.
I think it's going to be fine. I'll just I'll tell you when we're good to go, Sarah, and I'll mute everyone when Sarah's on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. We might be on. Just get Max to Jason to check. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I was talking to Max on YouTube and he couldn't hear me because I was 6 seconds different. Right, I think we're Max. Are you getting Jason to just check we're on?
Jason.
There's probably loads of people shouting, "You're on!"
Can't hear you.
He says he's on. Yeah, it's good.
Good. I'm going to mute everyone so Sarah can go.
Okay, so we're online. That's good. So thank you everyone who's come back to listen to another reading of Be Patient for Spring. I thought I'd give a little introduction to it this time. So this was written about a year ago after having had treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma and a stem cell transplant, which took place 2 years ago. So yeah, it's kind of a meditation on that treatment and the subsequent side effects. And I feel now's a good time to read it because it kind of picks up a little bit on the issues we're facing now. Obviously completely different, but there are elements of what we now call social isolation and yeah, just the kind of things that we're having to deal with now. So please, I hope you're sitting comfortably and you're ready for Be Patient for Spring. Little Bones didn't make it to New Year. She died on the 28th. We Googled how to comfort a dying cat. She was bundled in a towel and played bird songs. My friend Ed thought her death was devastation enough, but I was still diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma a week later on January the 5th, 2017. I didn't know I could love a cat so much. Trips to the vet, major surgery, and her eventual sleep dictated my world for 9 months. When the vet put the liquid in her veins, her pupils dilated as if she were at play. She was the most demanding and precious cat. Leaping across the stairwell with moon-soaked eyes, licking oil off our plates and catching spiders like a true hunter. Her illness was more tragic than mine. Her tiny 2.5 kilogram body was consumed. She became confused by water, batting the flow from the tap, unable to comprehend what to do with it. Her temperature dropped and her body went floppy. Her illness was more tragic than mine. Her tiny 2.5 kilogram body was confused. The new year approached and both Ed and I needed company. The loss of Bones had been hard to accept, especially with the pathological lump in my neck, not yet known by its true name. On New Year's Eve, we went to the cinema. The film was called Arrival. The main character experienced memories of events that were yet to happen. Within the first 10 minutes of the film, a teenager was having her lymph nodes checked by a physician. I recognized all the telltale placements of hands, starting behind the ears, leading down through the throat and onto the clavicles. I'd had the same done to me a few days earlier. A montage followed of treatments, hair loss, and the teenager's eventual death. People often die from cancer in film. The drama and glamour of sick youth pulls in an audience. The reality is much more complex. My cancer grew slowly, manifesting in my right supraclavicular fossa in the form of a hard 3 centimetre lump. My neck was a portal to the disease. The treatment of cancer is a very unique kind of violence, a bodily assault and violation of the senses. Lymphoma. How do you like my lymphatic system? No answer. Too well, they tell me. Time to have a stem cell transplant. High-dose chemotherapy with autologous stem cell rescue is its full name. It's a mouthful, so stem cell transplant it is. It's hard to disambiguate blood cancer. The early warning signs can be subtle, misleading, and are often misdiagnosed. Hollywood seems seduced though. Young, beautiful bodies writhing on our cinema screens, bringing bulging tears to the eye, a palatable cancer, unharmed by surgeon's knife, breasts and testicles left intact, no need for bowel resection or prostate removal. I have my own hospital room. It's a sign of bad things to come. It was once known as a bone marrow transplant, and still is in some cases. I knew it by no other name. I understood it to be something associated with leukemia, and understood it to be unpleasant. Bone marrow is crushable, so the needles need to be thick. The body needs to be taken back to the beginning so it can be reborn. Sometimes only chemicals are used. Others, it's radiation too. Children squirm in hospital beds in our adverts, little bodies too overwhelmed by a situation out of their control. New, less invasive technologies allows the stem cells to be taken from the blood in most cases, now sparing the donor an unpleasant extraction from the pelvis. The process is similar to giving blood. It takes a few hours hooked up to a machine that spins the blood. When you spin the blood, it splits into its component parts. Yellow plasma, muted, red cells still red, orange sorbet platelets, stem cells, the most primitive of cells, peach. Oh, baby cells, what would you like to be when you grow up? No answer. You can be anything. Lymphocytes, monocytes, granulocytes, or maybe neutrophils, endophils, and basophils. One of my earliest memories is of eating food out of my cat's bowl. They were saviour cats, pulling my mother out of a very dark period of her life. I only knew them in their twilight years. They were here long before my brother and I. Every day, for a short while, they would have fresh rabbit cooked for them. I don't eat meat anymore, or eggs, or dairy, except for now. I am in my hospital room, and there are no vegan feeding sacks. Calorie-rich milkshakes are strapped in a pump and dripped into my tummy via a feeding tube. I have lost 3 kilograms, more than little bones had weighed. My BMI is too low, a body in shock from 6 days of high-dose chemotherapy. Each dose arrived in pastel pink bags. It glimmered with transparency. It killed indiscriminately. It killed to the marrow, wiping out my immune system and any remaining cancer cells. I am in the new building of St. Bartholomew's Hospital. The window faces Merrill Lynch, where the working stay too late. If I strain my neck to the right, peering through the decorative modesty pattern adorning the window, I can see unicorns mounting clouds. I show them to all my visitors, confirming that they are not just there due to my constant state of fever. Prior to this treatment, I walked past a fancy restaurant just by the hospital with my mother. We felt emboldened and considered going in. They served bone marrow soup. Bone marrow soup. It seemed to me insensitive to serve such a dish next to a cancer hospital treating for those sick to the marrow. But people disassociate from the lives of animals. Their marrow is just protein, whereas ours is birth, growth, and change. We break the bone and suck the marrow out. We chose not to enter. Many people consider a stem cell transplant to be a rebirth and a new chance at life. On the eve of my new birthday, I am given steroids. I could fly if they'd let me, but all I can do is tap the glass. The pigeons, their rumbling coos are comforting, yet the rooftops are scattered with wooden birds of prey to deter them, the flapping filth. We seduce these birds though, grey, industrial concrete buildings mimicking the rocks of their natural habitat. It is forbidden to let pigeons in the room. The windows don't even open. Uncleanliness causes panic. They spread their filth just by flapping. The dust and dirt of squalid existence would land on every surface. Their feet would soil every sheet. I want them in here. My existence is squalid too. Maybe the fancy restaurant serves pigeon. The poison has damaged my throat. I can't swallow. Whilst marrow is being sucked down the road, I struggle to eat anything. They refuse to feed me via the blood. It's too dangerous. I must stick with the tube. Blood feeding causes sepsis. Ask yourself, could it be sepsis? No, it's not sepsis, but could it be sepsis? Happy birthday. The nurse who delivers my stem cells is wonderful. She pulls the cells out of liquid nitrogen and delivers each bag carefully within a tight 20-minute window. She lightly giggles and chatters with me whilst performing these complicated tasks. My chest stings with the weight of it all. She shines a light on the peachy liquid to calm me down. It shimmers brightly with my baby cells. They dance in the tube and spiral towards my arm. There is so much glitter in each bag. It is night, and the bags glow in the hospital light. Without this precious infusion of life-giving cells, I would never recover from the chemotherapy, or so I am told. Oral morphine is purple. It's too painful to swallow. I am fitted with a subcutaneous pump. It delivers round-the-clock morphine and anti-sickness drugs. Little mountains form on my belly at the point of contact. There is something pushing from the inside, a mole stuck by a cellular boundary. The molehills grow hard and painful. The creature's claws are too blunt to penetrate. Neutrophils fall, platelets drop. The body can't heal, the blood won't clot. I vomit the blood that falls from the wounds in my mouth and throat. It mingles with green bile and comes out black. Black water is vile and poisonous. I spew the Thames, the sick river that flows by the hospital. Watch the surface carefully. It moves with purpose and catches dark shadows. khaki mixed with black. I am at last given an infusion of opaque orange platelets. The blood vomit stops and the Thames dries up. My neutrophils have reached 0. I am told this is good and to be expected. It will be days before my stem cells kick in. I pick at my fingerprints as I don't want to feel anymore. The thin lines of discarded skin resemble little serpents. They settle outside my hospital door, scooting inside and out whenever a doctor or nurse comes in. Every time I try to speak, my mouth fills with a gelatinous, milky liquid. I habitually spit into paper bowls. They fill up with saturation. Everything is thickened, even the last dregs of menstruation. Blood-tinged slime mingled with burning urine. Demineralized bones boiled up by fever, thickening the body and all of its juices. The serpents are confused and bite their tails, a product of captivity. They roll and writhe on the floor, choking with every bite. Down and down the tail goes, aerobaric in nature, though their rebirth is painful and slow. I only want my mother here. It's freezing outside and cold in the room. The temperature is kept low to prevent infection. My throat is still so raw. One Sunday, a new consultant appears in my room. He looks in my mouth and tells me that I am not lying. I was worried about my indefinable fevers. He assures me that my veins are being pumped full of bleach. I like this metaphor. Bleach is the ultimate killer of germs. A house is safe when the toilet bowl is routinely flushed with bleach. My outer skin falls too, but only in small flakes. My hair, I pick it out, clump by clump, leaving a patch on the right side of my head for as long as possible. My love comes to see me. I give them trinkets from my body, such as pieces of hair and little smiles from my face. Here's my joy and my sadness. The platelets drop again. My broken heart seeps acid into my GI tract. I bring up the skin and rub the translucent leathery slices between my numb fingers' tips. The bed levitates above a speckled vinyl floor. It slips up the wall like a trough and is filled with strange sour water. The serpents can swim, and they feed off the pieces of skin that rub off as I move. Their little round mouths crown the surface as they come up for air, sending kisses as they go. The kisses latch onto my face, causing pus-filled yellow spots to accumulate around my chin and temples. Guests stride in, and the serpents scamper. They splash around in the trough and make the water dirty. I don't mind. It's important to have company. Ed is here. We sit together that evening in my hospital room and watch Straight Outta Compton. His face lights up when I suggest we watch it. I slowly masticate pieces of watermelon, reminding my body how to swallow. The little pieces churn in my mouth and are spat into paper bowls. My stomach has started to reject its feed. Pastel-coloured milkshakes brought back up in a series of excruciating retches. We watch Eazy-E die tragically from AIDS-related complications. I refused my feed that evening. The primordial is in charge now. Have you ever tried to give a cat tablets? They know not to take them. Necks are thrown back and human hands are bitten. Inside I'm growling, whimpering, seething. I leave the pills in their little cups. I don't shower anymore. I am made to sleep propped up. It's all for the good of the feed. We can't let the precious BMI drop any further. I want to sleep lying down. I reject my feed. My body knows best. Break my bones and suck out the marrow. The neutrophils have crept up. I crawl up the walls, though there is nothing for my claws to key into. I routinely slip down and fall back into the bed. I pace around my room and pull on a resistance band. I nibble on cornflakes and sip cold oat milk. It's important to be patient for spring. The coldness of winter can be hard to endure. Thin linen jackets are taken out too soon, and people regret their decisions. Summer. The earth is scorched by the endless weeks of sun, and the trees have shed their leaves. The ground crunches deceptively with their cargo as if it could be autumn. It's particularly beautiful in London's Victoria Park. There's a wild side where people often don't venture to. I stand by the shallow lake. Its waters are caked with a marshy slime as it gives itself up to the relentless sun. A kingfisher flutters past me, landing on the reeds. I am granted a full viewing, its bronze chest in full puff as its little head flits about, revealing flashes of perfect turquoise. I am healing slowly from my autologous stem cell transplant. Just like the skin from my mouth and throat, the leaves have fallen uncharacteristically this year. They have answered empathetically, shedding their leaves in response to extreme weather. Too overwhelmed to make sense of a situation, my body, at the mercy of anti-cancer drugs, did the same. It's hard to piece together a body that's been dismantled. Some things might never fit again. There are always traces left behind, scars, dysfunctional organs, damaged muscles and taste buds, broken hearts. How do you put together a body that's been dismantled? Outer skin still intact, but the insides still writhing. Stomach slowly accepts food again. Intestines learn to digest, and mouths produce saliva. It's the permanent lesions on my lower orifices that are stories left untold. The taboos still unbroken. Sex still hurting. My best friend had her left breast taken in early December 2018. Her surgery took place at another large cancer centre, Guy's Hospital. I remember the day she told me of her diagnosis. The unfairness hit me first. How could cancer swim in my blood for 15 months only to go and grow in my best friend's breast? I walk across Blackfriars Bridge and gaze at the Thames. It's dark and khaki in colour and moves with purpose. There is no clarity. Water should be blue from afar and clear when held, but the Thames is neither. It's an opaque mass filled with malignancy. Is there something in the water, or is it just incorrect cell death? Physical trauma ends, but we are not left with either death or a cure. Our bodies are without cancer, but we are not completely well. Spring approaches again, and I know to be patient this time.
I've unmuted everyone again, just so you know.
Sarah's left.
Yes, Sarah's left. I want to finish my rainbow.
It's looking great.
Don't know if Turner would agree, but he's not here, so he can't comment. Turner doesn't know how to use YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to carry on for a bit personally anyway. I'll watch the YouTube though to make sure it's still on. Yeah, still there. Okay.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Yeah, it looks better now. It's a bit softer, doesn't it? I think.
Lines.
You are.
The bit that I just mentioned where you just like scratch
Yeah. What right?
where
Well, I have had it. What?
we like
Oh, what?
No, at the beginning, they're like long ones. They're all like short.
Yeah, I suppose so. Bit brave, though, ain't it, a long one?
Well,
Bit brave, a long one.
it is.
Right. Yeah, good.
Is this a new one?
This is the one I've just done.
Okay. What time is it? I was just seeing. Is that your hand that you made?
Yeah.
Wow. Just now. 2 hands.
2, yeah. They're always going to be the 2s, Josie. You'll
Oh, yeah.
soon.
Let's see.
Wow. Beautiful. Oh. Love
Go.
it.
I'm going to have to make a mould from these, and that is going to be a bit of a nightmare for the next stage. How's that rainbow?
It's all right. I'm getting a bit obsessive with it. I need to probably. The problem is the curve is like not right yet, and I just need to keep going at it a little bit. It is right in a bit. The inside bit isn't right, but I'd like to finish doing that before it dries.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you know when the paint's wet, it's really dark, and then when it all actually dries, the whole thing becomes a lot lighter as well. So I'll be obsessing about something, and then it dries and you can't even see it. But anyway, because that's just the nature of the ink. But
So
yeah.
are you painting with ink?
Yeah, acrylic ink.
What's the difference between acrylic ink and ink?
Well,
plain acrylic paint.
there isn't that much difference. I'm sure other people would say there's lots of difference, but for me, the main difference is that it's already at the yeah.
So it's thinner.
Yeah, but it goes a longer way when you put water with it. It's just it behaves like ink, but it you know, with any other ink it won't necessarily set in place when it's dry, but with the acrylic ink it won't move once it's dry, so it'll work like acrylic. I bet if I Google it, there's somewhere that says it's just watered down acrylic paint. Who knows?
That's interesting. So that's how you get all your drips in your work.
Yeah.
Thinner.
Yeah. And I think it's different as well. If you use it straight onto canvas or you use it onto primed canvas, it's different as well. But I quite like it straight onto canvas because I feel like it's a bit more like paper. It's like a bit more like using watercolor paper.
Yeah.
So
Thin.
yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna do a bit more. Maybe till 2.
I want to see if you can show us the paint.
Oh yeah, Max. He's gone.
We just shout at him.
He'll
He's gone for a
phone him.
Anyway. Get on.
We're still on, by the way. Right. You should be the judge of that. Okay. Stop in a bit. We'll have to stop. Yes, please. Andy's going to make me a cup of tea in the Flint's mug. How are you? You got your. We've been sponsored by Flint. Turn it round and do a little show to the.
Not made for left-handers.
There we go.
So I'm using their own and also fine casting plaster at the moment.
Check your WhatsApp.
Kandinsky thing.
Who's that?
I don't think I've got
I like it like that. I wonder if it's just a bit mad out here, and also I've used lots of colours that are around the situation. Right?
Yeah, I mean, because what next to what it was.
Yeah. I've got the tarp and the brick colour. I wonder if it's just a bit confused. Also, have you got any like sweets on?
Any sweets?
You know, like sugar.
No. No, certainly not. I'm not.
I don't know who he is. No.
Yeah, I think you're close.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
Still good, sweetheart? Fine.
There's something at the top left. Maybe because the top left's too dark.
Can we see your picture, Max, if you put it towards the camera?
Sorry, what did you say?
Can we see your picture, like like from more straight on, so we can see it? You know,
Yeah.
like bring the picture over, or bring the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, can do
To
that.
me, it looks like the meetings. I can't see any of you now. I've got the end of the meeting.
What?
You still there?
Yeah,
We can
I'm
hear you.
here.
That's,
Can
oh,
you-
yeah, I found you.
Hiding. But you said, like, it's been completely washed out by sunlight on the camera.
Oh, Max is like frozen.
Very bright, isn't it? I don't know what to do.
Oh, he's back. He's back. This is good.
Oh,
Wow.
I'll just send you a photo of it.
Yeah, do.
Do.
I'm a bit stuck now as well, so you can help.
Keep going.
That's the answer to being stuck. Keep going.
I don't dislike it, but I just there's just something about it.
My scales are fucking up. Oh.
Yeah, on WhatsApp now.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that's totally different. Oh, I like it.
That's really nice, Max.
I'm going to show it to the camera so other people can see it.
Yeah, that's.
I like when it's good.
We're using the same blue, Max.
At the top.
Say that, Max. Say that again, because you keep disappearing.
No,
No.
the top. You what? Is it not working?
Say, yeah, it is. You just kind of disappear a bit because it's the connection, but you're back now.
It's quite.
Can you hear him all right, Alex?
No, I mean, he's breaking up like for you.
Yeah.
I love the way it looks like old plaster, Max.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back now. Did you hear me say that the blue, we're using the same blue and it's the tart blue as well?
Yes, that's why by accident I've picked colours that are here. The
But
top blue.
it might not have been by accident. Like, it could have been subconscious.
You have to
That's
think
what
about
I
that.
mean. That's,
Yeah. I can see like a mad face in it as well.
Wow.
I love it.
I can't see a mad face in it.
I
Like,
quite want to do something with all of the things that are there. So with the tarp, with those Tesco crates.
and it's like a crazy shouting mouth there. You want to move it all, did you say? So
No,
you're
I
not
just-
painting the same colour?
No, I don't know, I'm thinking about displaying it all in a way somehow.
Are you already working on the display of it?
I just started happening then, yeah.
Yeah. Because there's all the other work you're going to make this week. Are you having a beer?
No, I wish.
Yeah. One of my mates was like, when you left, they were like, you've gone off to get beer.
No, that's
We'll have to have an evening live stream with a glass of wine.
It's the lockdown, Josie. We're meant to have 11 a.m. live stream with wine, I think.
That's the lockdown rules.
Not chamomile tea like I've gone for. It's got, like, what I find interesting in it is you always get a bit of your pink to come through at some point, and you got none of that in this. But I like the fact you're doing something different.
Are you talking to Max or me?
Max.
Because he always puts pink in it. He does put pink in.
Yeah, there's always a little.
I do like pink. I do like pink. There's pink in this, but just maxed in with the beige.
But I think it's but I
Is
think
that better? Can you speak better there?
Is it better? No.
Is it better there?
Yeah, I think you can see it better.
Yeah. Sorry, because my screen's at a tilt, so I have to actually look like that. Yeah.
So I have, because I've got this meeting at 3, I might have to make some lunch.
Yeah.
But I can leave it on. If you two want to stay and carry on making on here, I can leave it on.
I think we should turn off the live stream anyway.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Because people were only meant
Yeah.
to tune in till 1 anyway.
Yeah. I might have a
people
bit of
still
lunch
watching
and then
it?
get on. Huh?
Are people still watching?
Well, I don't know. I think my dad sent me a message saying it was riveting. Riveting, and then he wants to know if we're going to show. Oh, the cat. He wants to know if we're going to show the rest of like what happens with the artwork, which we are.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't figured it out yet, and we'll maybe do. We can do another one of these. Maybe with less techie issues.
I think we've got to. I think it's good. But
Yeah.
We should have a catch up anyway later about
Yeah.
where we're at with it, what we're really doing. I can tell you a bit more thinking behind what I'm doing. And then, but I'm happy to keep working in a bit, but I'm probably gonna have some food before I do my next cast because I can't move for like 20 minutes while I'm.
Well, we could stop the live stream now, carry on working generally, and because if we're all going to be doing a bit throughout the week to, carry on working throughout the week, there'll be other opportunities to share and yeah. Good.
So you going to work tonight? Oh, we'll stop the live stream anyway.
Oh, okay. Bye everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate it. Anything else to say? Show your flint smug.
Cheers.
Max hasn't got one because it's smashed in the post.
But you've got to get it. We'll get it to you.
Yeah, I'll stick it back together, Max, and you can pick it up from outside my house sometime.
Okay, that'd be nice.
That'll be nice. Good. Bye.